Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beat the Book. As always, I am your boy Big Al Better. Tonight we got a great video for you guys. We're gonna be going over. We're doing a quick recap of how our bets went for today, and then we'll hop into tomorrow's bets. I'm filming this the night after the games. If you guys are new, you don't know that, but if you guys have been here, you guys know I film them after the games end, and then I put it out for you guys for tomorrow. So we will be going into tomorrow's games. There are 3 of them. We'll be giving you guys our lean on the over, under, and the spread, and also giving out 4-pick parlays. And then at the end, we'll have a 3-pick parlay, 1 prop bet from each game for you guys. For the first five-ish minutes of the video, I like to recap our bets, let you know how we did, and kind of just go over some of the games. And we're still fans of the game, even though we do bet, but we're also fans of the game. So if you guys just want tomorrow's picks, or I guess when Thursday's picks, then you just skip to 7-ish minutes probably, and that's where you're going to be at. If not, just hang out, enjoy the recap, yada yada yada. But anyway, without wasting too much time, let's hop into it. So obviously the big story of the night: Jimmy Butler falls, gets hurt, pelvic contusion. He's getting an MRI tomorrow. We don't know if he's going to be back. That's a huge deal for the Warriors. I think they can still beat this Rockets team without him. But moving forward, you remember Steph Curry fell and he hurt his tailbone. I don't know, was it middle of March? He fell. He missed a bunch of time. I think it was 3 weeks. And if Jimmy misses 3 weeks, I mean, we're in the finals, right? So huge story there. We'll be just short of the finals, but huge storyline there. We're definitely going to hope that MRI comes back negative and Jimmy's able to get back on the court during this series. If not this series, you hope that Golden State can hold on, win their 2 games at home, to go back to the Rockets, win a game, and then get those 4 or 5 extra days of rest, whatever it'll end up being. But that was a huge story. That did also affect, I guess we'll just reverse order our picks from last night. That did affect heavily our Golden State and Houston picks. So we're on Golden State +3. By the time I got the book to make it, was +4. But the pick I gave out last night when we made the video, it was +3. So we are always going to operate off the number I gave, not the number I get, because that's not fair to you guys. If you guys watched it, at 11 p.m. on, Tuesday night, you went out and betted at the 3, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I got a 4, we cashed. I would never do that to you guys. I'm too honest for that. So the number we had was the number I gave was +3. I got +4. It doesn't matter. They lost by 15. The over under was 203.5 was the number last night that I gave out. I don't know what this just opened for. The number I gave out last night was 203.5. They still stayed under this. They hit 203, so we were just under. If you guys were on the under with me, when I got to the book today to make my bets, it was 205. So I was under. But unfortunately, it doesn't even matter. Well, I mean, it matters because it's it's a pick. But the Golden State kind of washes that out with them losing. Did not expect Jimmy to. It was. I mean, to be fair to the Rockets, they did have a lead early. But you always feel like with Steph and Jimmy, you felt like Jimmy was probably going for 20 something in that game. He only had, I think, 6 points when he got hurt. So, or maybe it was even less than that. But yeah, it just sucks for that, and it sucks to see that happen on a pretty innocuous play. Like, it's just, he's going up for a board, legs get pulled out from under him, and he falls 6 feet right onto his tailbone. So not good. Hopefully he can come back. Honestly, I think, like I already did kind of say, I think the Warriors could still win the series without him. They stole the game on the road, which was huge. They stole game 1, right? And so when you steal game 1, you just have to hold serve at home, you win the series. So if they can win these next 2 at home, where their role players should play better, Guy Santos and Quentin Post, who had a great night, and Kuminga, if he's getting back in the rotation, he gets more practice and he's in there a bunch. I mean, Kuminga actually, he missed a bunch of shots, but they were all kind of really contested shots. I thought he played pretty well. So I feel like the Warriors should be able to handle this. It's just whether Jimmy's going to be able to get back for the next series that is going to be the real question mark for me. Enough talk on the Warriors. That's what that situation is. We'll obviously we'll all be watching. Let's hop into the next game. We have the Heat and the Cavs. Over under was 211.5. We were on the over. That did cash. I believe they were up in the 230s, but that one got pretty high scoring. And then we were on the Heat +12, and they fought back, man, super hard and made the game. They ended up losing by 9, I believe. It was 7 or 9. I got real worried because it got back up over the double-digit mark, and I was like, oh, no. And I gave +12, but my ticket, by the time I got to the book, it was 10. And so I was sitting there just like, come on, baby. And they ended up making it work. So it was awesome. So we got the Heat +12, that cashed, and then the over-under of 211.5, we had the over, and that also cashed. That was really nice. As far as the 4-pick parlay, I didn't even go through the 4-pick parlay on the Warriors game. We had all Rockets players. We had Sengun over 20.5 points. He ends at 17, and he had 15, like, I felt like at halftime. It wasn't, but it was in the third quarter, he had 15. I was like, oh, cool. We just need 3 more buckets from this guy, and we cash. He doesn't even get it. Jalen Green, we had the under 18.5 points. He had 38 points in this game. He absolutely popped off, so we're probably looking at his under in the next game because there's no way he repeats that performance. We had Fred VanVleet under 2.5 rebounds. He had 4 in the first quarter, so that thing was just dead. And then we had Sengun under 4.5 assists. I believe he ended with 5. If not, he was at 4, but it doesn't really matter because the rest of the picks failed. So basically, if you would have just faded the whole thing and done the opposite of what I gave out, you would have hit a parlay. But that's gambling. Sometimes you think things are going to go a certain way and they flip and go the different. And I don't think Jalen Green would have had as big of a night if Jimmy doesn't get hurt, because Jimmy's defensive presence would have been on him a little bit. I don't know if it would have been completely on him because I think Jimmy was going to take Sengun, but that would have freed up Draymond to be on him or somebody else to be full-time on him. So Jimmy getting hurt the Warriors in a lot of ways and kind of screwed the parlay. But for the Heat Cavs parlay, we had Duncan Robinson 2+ threes. He did that in the first game. He did not do that this time. We had Davion Mitchell 12+ points. He only had 4 going into the fourth quarter. Then he fires a ton of shots, and then he ended up getting to 18 or 16 again. So that was awesome. I think we're gonna be taking him again because the next game's in Miami, and usually role players like that play better at home. And then we had Ty Jerome over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He does not cash that. And then our last one was Bam Adebayo over 32.5 PRA. He does cash that. And Tyler Hero had a great game, so we probably should have just taken him instead of Ty Jerome. But hindsight's 2020. You can always look at a box score after him and oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. So I don't want to dwell too much on that. Then for the final game, which was the first game of the night, we had the over in the Boston-Orlando game. The first game went under, but 2 of their 3 regular season games had gone over this number. So I was like, yo, this number's too low. We got to take the over. Over cashes. They got up 215, I think. And then the Orlando Magic plus 10.5 is the line I gave out last night. I got it at 10. They cash as well. So hey, come on, baby, that's huge. So we get the plus 10.5 with Orlando, and we get the over. No big deal. As far as the 4-pick parlay, we finally hit one, guys. Come on now. This thing was plus 675 when I gave it out last night. Jaylen Brown 35+ points, rebounds, plus assists. Derek White 25+ points, rebounds, plus assists. Paolo Banchero 4+ assists, and Franz Wagner 22+ points. That was the diciest one. All 3 other ones that hit late in the fourth. We're talking 2 minutes left in the game. Franz Wagner, he gets a little okey doke, gets a lay-in. He gets us to 22. And I'm like, oh my goodness, we're not going to hit this thing. Or maybe it was 21. I was like, we're not going to hit this thing. Then he takes it again, gets fouled, goes to the free throw line, makes both free throws, cashes it, no big deal. Huge dub for the channel. We've been making 4-pick parlays. We've been 3 of 4. We've been 3 of 4 on half the ones we've given out. So we finally hit one. It's huge. If you guys tailed it with me, congratulations. Your bank account's a little more full. Plus 675 is a good one to hit. So we hit the 4-pick parlay, and then on the night we go 5 of 6 picks on the over-unders and the spreads, which is absolutely incredible. That is a 5 of 6. 6 times 15 is 95, 60, and 30, 90%. So 16-ish percent per pick. So we're up there at a 90, an 85% hit rate on the night. That's really, really good. So anyway, great night of gambling. Now let's hop into the next slate of games and hope we can, give you guys picks that will go ahead and mimic that. Let's switch the scene here. We'll bring up these games. Ka-chow, ka-chang. I'm going to get rid of this. We don't need any spoilers. Oh, you guys can't even see that anyway with the way I have the screen ended. All right, let's flip the page. Anyway, like I said, it was a great night. Jimmy getting hurt, I thought we were going to sweep on the night. If Jimmy doesn't get hurt, I think there was a really good chance we were going to sweep on the night because that defense would have been more intense, and I think the Warriors could have come back and won that thing. Little Four Roses bourbon. All right. Here we go. I had to pour a little something, We just went 80% on the night. How can you not? You know what I mean? Anyway, let's hop into these games. So we got the Knicks taking on the Pistons, -1, +1. Okay, if you guys remember, the first game, Pistons had a 6-point or 9-point lead going into the fourth quarter. I don't know how much time was left, and they blew it totally. It was 21-0 run for the Pistons, or for the Knicks rather. They come back, they beat the Pistons game 1. Game 2, the Pistons were a 6-point favorite or underdog again, and I said, yo, they had a huge lead and they were winning up until that 21-0 run. Let's take them again. Then they come in, they win for us, right? We're going to take them again at home, +1. They've just shown a certain level of fight. They've shown a certain level of grit. that I don't think the Knicks necessarily have. I think losing DiVincenzo and Randall was a big deal for them and the grit they have. The Cat's a good player and can score points and get you a bucket. He can score 30, right? And he's tall and he's big and he can rebound, but he doesn't have that killer mentality. I feel like that there's something about DiVincenzo and Randall. They're just like, they're junkyard dogs. They'll get in there and fight. I don't see that with Cat, so I don't know if that's necessarily a winning recipe. So I like the Pistons here at home. Their role players should play better. Cade's been playing incredible. Tobias Harris has been playing incredible. But if you get those bench players, which they always role players play better on at home than they do on the road, you get those role players to play better, and the Knicks role players play worse because they're on the road. I think that's a recipe for the Pistons to win this one too. I'm not saying they win the series. I think the Knicks then probably steal Game 4, and then the Knicks go win their home games and they take the series. But I like the Pistons here +1. Maybe that's foolish. Maybe I should be on the Knicks here. But I like the Pistons +1 here. As far as the over/under, I'm going to be on the over. The last game was an under, but the first game was a big over. I think with you being at home, the Pistons should set the tone. I think, like I said, their role players will score more points. Like those open threes that you were missing on the road, you're going to make those at home. Which should drive the score up, and then the Knicks will have to answer. And if the Knicks want to keep this close at all, I think we get an over. And the number's pretty low. Like, we're not talking 220 here. We're talking just over 210. So I like an over here, and I like the Pistons rather plus the 1. And I feel pretty good about it. We'll see if the number moves at all, by the time tip-off happens. But you're going to give me +1 with the home team that just won. I feel good about that. And maybe they're counting on a Knicks bounce back, but it's easy to bounce back when you're at home. It's not as easy to bounce back on the road in their building. So and Detroit, I believe, played pretty darn good at home. You're talking about a 35-40 win team. So I feel pretty good about that. I like the Pistons taking it home crowd, and then they get to go do their thing. I like that. I like that a lot. As far as a 4-pick parlay here, I feel like we've got a good one on our hands. This was actually the highest paying one I think we might have ever made. It's plus 1,400, which is massive. What we've got here, Jalen Brunson, 40 plus PRA. He's done that in both games so far in the playoffs against these guys. Tobias Harris, 25 plus PRA. He's actually cashed this in both. In both games, we had him for 20, and he did. But we're going to take 25 because he's at home. Once again, players at home tend to play a little bit better. You hit a little more shots, so I expect that to happen. So Harris 25 plus PRA. Then we're gonna go Malik Beasley 20 plus PRA. He had 30 minutes in the last game. He didn't have as many points. He wasn't as productive in the first game. He's very productive, but his minutes have been there to get done what we need to get done. And then once again, coming off the bench, a role player at home, I expect him to hit a couple of the shots he probably misses on the road. So I feel like it's a sneaky spot, and he's big plus money for this one. And then the last one we have is Josh Hart under 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, I love Josh Hart. I love the way he plays. He's gritty. He's a dog. He gets in there. He battles. The effort from Josh Hart is always great. But in I've got the sheet up right here. In the 2 games so far in the playoffs against these guys, these are at home. 26 PRA and 22 PRA. The over-under set at 26.5. So as long as we have that hook in there to keep us, he can hit 26 again. But if he stays under that, we're fine. So I'm just going to, like I said, love the guy. Think he's great. Great athlete. But he has not been hitting this number so far in this playoff run. So I'm going to play that trend, keep him under, and it's a pretty good play. This parlay, like I said, plus 1,400. It's super big. So it's just Jalen Brunson, 40 plus points, rebounds, assists, done it in both games. Harris, 25 plus, done that in both games. Beasley, 20 plus. He did it in the first game, not in the second game, but they're at home. I like that. And then Josh Hart, under 26.5, and he's been under that in both games. So that's our picks for that game. Feel really good about it. Moving on to the second game, we have what's been the beatdown of the playoffs so far, which is the Thunder and the Grizzlies. The spread now is 8.5. It was 14 and 13.5 respectively in the first 2 games. Now it's moved to 8.5 because obviously Grizzlies are at home. Over under is 226.5. The first game should have gotten over, but the Grizz didn't show up. Second game should have gotten over, but the Grizz kind of showed up and the Thunder didn't show up as much. This one, and both those games, the over under was 230. This one's a couple points lower. I like the over again. Maybe I'm foolish. If you guys think I just need to get off the overs, then, let me know in the comments below. Memphis should shoot better, play better here, but the Thunder should still win this game. So if you're going to give me a Grizzly team, this is my thesis with game 2. I was like, Memphis should play better. They had a bad game. They were coming off 2 days of rest. They should play much better. They did play better. The Thunder just didn't get to 130 like they did. They got to 110 or whatever it was. And so we still cashed an under. I think Memphis can get over 100 in this game. If they do, the Thunder should be able to, they're going to keep pace. We know that with the Thunder. I'm also on the Thunder minus 8.5. I think the Thunder are sweeping this series 4 straight, so I like the Thunder here minus 8.5. I don't really care that Memphis is at home. They should shoot better, which obviously the book, they dropped this thing 6 points to account for that. I just think what they do is too good. Chet hitting threes, SGA doing whatever he wants. So I like the Thunder minus 8.5, and I like the over 226 because I just think the Grizz should play a little faster and score a little more at home. And I don't doubt the Thunder can match it. So I like that. As far as the 4-pick parlay for this one, we've got Jalen Williams, J-A-L, not the J-A-Y, the starter, Jalen Williams for 5 rebounds. He's done it in both games so far in the playoffs. Love that. Then we have Jalen Williams also for 20-plus points. He's done this 4 straight games against this team, so I feel really good about that. Then we have Jaren Jackson Jr. over 26.5 PRA. He just went for 26 points on the road in Oklahoma. Back at home, once again, you play better if you're the home team at home. Your role players and your regular players play better at home. So I think he'll go off again. 26.5 PRA seems really low. I don't really know why it's this low, but I love it. And then we got Ja Morant, 25-plus points. He had 23 in the last game. I expect him to have a game in this series where he goes off for 35, 40. Now, I think this could be the game for that. I just think it'll end up being not enough because SGA is better, and that team is coached better. Obviously, the Grizzlies fired their coach for a reason, right? They don't feel like the message is getting through or whatever. The Thunder's coach just seems totally in control, and even their bench unit comes in and just kills people. So, so we're on the Thunder minus 8.5. We're on the over. The 4-pick parlay is Jalen Williams, 5-plus rebounds, Jalen Williams, 20-plus points, Jaren Jackson Jr. over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists, and Ja Morant, 25-plus points. He coming off the 23-point performance just the other day in Oklahoma. Now, let's hop into the last game of the night. This is the most fun series that we've kind of seen. Both games have been really, really close. You got Denver at the Clippers. First game in LA. LA's played great at home this year. This spread is 5 points. For reference, it was 1 point and 2.5 points for Denver. Denver was +1 in the second game. They ended up losing by 2 or 3. I think it was 3. And then in the first game, Denver was 2.5 point favorites, and they ended up winning by 2. So with this one, it's 5-point spread. I like Denver here +5. I think all the games in the series are going to be like that, 2 to 3 point games. So I like the 5 points I'm getting with the Nuggets here, and I like the Nuggets to win the series still. Not that I don't like the Clippers. I think they're playing great ball. Kawhi's been balling. James Harden's been balling. But I just kind of feel like these series are just going to be really close. So I like the +5 with Denver. Maybe it's a trap we're walking into. As far as the over under 213.5, I do like the over. I know the first game we needed overtime to get to an over, and then this last game was super under. But I feel like at some point you got to get the scoring going. At some point you got to score. I expect the Clippers to score more. Like I said, role players being at home is kind of the whole vibe of the video because it's all the game threes where we're switching the underdogs now at home, and their role players should play better. So I think the Clippers role players, like Norm Powell, hasn't had a big game yet. I expect him to have a big game in this one. And if they start to have a big game, I expect the Nuggets will answer that, and they'll just end up scoring more points. Maybe Jokic goes off for 40 points in this game. I don't know, but yeah, I like the +5 with the Nuggets, and I like the over 213.5. Moving on to the 4-pick parlay here. This is one of the ones that I feel really, really good about, too. We got Jamal Murray, 20-plus points. He's done that in, I think, every game against these guys. Last 6 games against these guys. 22 points, 18 points, 20 points, 21, 21, 23. Only one game of the last 6 he's gone under 20. Love that here. Jamal Murray, 20-plus points. Give me that. Jokic, 45-plus PRA. We're paying a little juice for this. It's minus 210. I like throwing it in there. Last 2 games, 29, 9, and 12, which if you guys are doing the math at home, that is, 50? Yeah, 50 PRA. And then the last game, 26, 11, and 10, which is 47 PRA. So he's been over this number in both playoff games. I know they're on the road, so maybe that affects some things, but it's it's Nikola Jokic. He's going to do his thing, so I like that a lot. Ivica Zubac over 2.5 assists. We're going back to that. Well, he didn't get it for us in the first game. He had 4 in the last game, and in the 6 games against these guys on the season, 5 assists, 5 assists, 4 assists, 3 assists, 2 assists, 4 assists. So he's done it in all but one of the games. And then our final one is going to be Norman Powell. We're going back to him. I've taken him in both. He hasn't hit yet. Over 21.5 PRA. If you guys think that I'm wild for taking him again, then just fade it. Go under. But I feel like, once again, I'm going to say it. This is the final time I'm going to say it. Role players and just bench players and just normal players, when they get home, they play better. So I expect Norman Powell to play better at home. And he may get more assists because when he kicks the ball to a role player or a bench player, they actually hit the shot versus bricking it, and you get no points for that. So over 21.5 PRA is his line. I love that a lot. So that's what we're going to roll with. And this thing pays out. I didn't even write it down. I think it was plus 600 over on DraftKings. So that is going to be your 4-pick parlay. Jamal Murray, 20-plus points. Jokic, 45-plus PRA. Zubac, over 2.5 assists. And Norm Powell, over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, moving on to the final portion of the video, which we always have been doing, for the last playoff run since the playoffs started. We're going to give you guys one pick from each game. So we have a 3-pick parlay for you guys. We're going to switch the screen. Boom. DK Scenes is what I've got that thing called. We're going to hop into Knicks Pistons. We're going to go Tobias Harris, player combos. Tobias Harris, 25-plus points, rebounds, and assists. Points, rebounds, assists. Tobias Harris, 25-plus as a plus 120 play. No big deal. Next, we're going to go to the second game, OKC Thunder. We're going to go with something that's hit in the first 2 games. We're just going to trust it until it stops hitting. Jalen Williams, 5-plus rebounds. Jalen Williams, that's J-A-L, not the J-A-Y. 5-plus boards. Boom. No big deal. And then for the final one, Nuggets Clippers. You already know where we're going. We're going to assists. We're going to the over-under. And we're taking Nikola Zubac. Ivica Zubac over 2.5 assists. This thing pays out plus 532 over on DraftKings currently. I feel great about it. We have 2 of the lines that have hit, and then Tobias Harris. Obviously, we've taken 20-plus PRA. He's hit for 25-plus in both games so far in this series. So I couldn't feel better about it. Tobias Harris is playing incredible basketball. It's very fun to watch. And so, yeah, there's your 3-pick parlay. As far as anything else to say in this video, that's pretty much it, guys. As always, I do thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it a ton. If you guys have not checked out the hockey videos, Matty Betts, our boy, the other boy who joins me in the NFL videos. He is making the hockey videos. He had one out last night. He has one out tonight. So go check that one out if you guys are looking into making some NHL bets. He's giving you it's kind of the same thing I'm doing here. Over under spread gives you a parlay. But yeah, as always, thank you guys for tuning in. I love it. Can't say enough how much I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. It always helps. We're trying to grow this channel, and the quicker we grow it, the quicker we can quit our jobs. The quicker we can quit our jobs, the more sports we can do, the more in depth we can go on the picks, and the more we can just give you guys more content. So as always, I'm just say it again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Catch you guys tomorrow. Let's go hit some more bets. We had a great night tonight. Let's celebrate the wins, huh? Let's celebrate the wins. It's only fun if you're winning. Well, it's fun regardless, but you know what I mean? It's more fun when you're winning. So let's celebrate the wins. We had a great night of betting. So let's hope to, carry that into tomorrow, carry that into the next one, and let's get a streak going. Let's get on a little bit of I don't know, maybe a heater, huh? Come on now. Protect the bag as always. Beat the book. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.